Our housing profile continues to grow, and we have limited land area to develop. Obviously, Eglin Air Force Base is a significant user of land or owner of land in our area, and that's wonderful because it means good things for our economy in terms of the economic value they provide. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, we have a limited footprint for new housing to be developed on. Really, in South Okaloosa, it's pretty well developed out. So a lot of the newer communities are being proposed and permitted up in northern Okaloosa County. And that's great because that's near Shoal River Ranch, and that's where a lot of the opportunity that we're working is focused.
If you can't write a contract on the back of your car on a Saturday night, then you don't know enough. All you have to do is show up. Just show up and you can succeed. Let's get to the point.
Today we have Nathan Sparks. I know I'll mess this up. He's the executive director of One Okaloosa EDC.
You nailed it.
Hey.
Yeah, nice job.
I got to say, we'll back up and say, I got to thank Mel Ponder. Mel was speaking at our office, and we were trying to find out more information, and Mel said, you need to call Nathan.
Well, good.
And have him get on the call.
Mel's a great partner, so I'm glad he put you on to us.
Yeah, so Nathan did a Zoom call with our office and our agents in an effort for us to become more informed about what's going on, get better connected with the community. All right. So, Nathan, what's going on in Okaloosa County that we should know?
Well, quite a bit, Jeff. First, thanks for having me. It's great to be here. So for those that don't know, One Okaloosa EDC, we're a public-private nonprofit partnership. We're a 501c6. We're on contract to Okaloosa County to perform economic development services for the county. We also work with each of the municipalities in Okaloosa County. We have about 150 investors. Some refer to them as members. Companies of all shapes and sizes, again, public, private, mom and pops, large Fortune 100 companies, so really the full gamut. And our mission is essentially to grow economic prosperity in Okaloosa County. So we do that in a variety of ways. We focus on helping existing industry with their growth objectives, specifically businesses that are in the technology, manufacturing, some of the healthcare projects, biotech and others, distribution, logistics, aerospace, defense, of course, is huge in Okaloosa County given the presence of our military missions.
Sure.
So we do that, obviously to grow our economy and to create more opportunities for everyone. But in addition to helping those businesses that are here, of course, we're focused on bringing new industry to town. Industry that's compatible with this special place that we call home, industry that adds value in terms of higher wage jobs. So you won't necessarily see us get involved in retail per se or things of that sort. That's all great, and that's a product of economic development, but we tend to focus on the industries that move the needle economically. So, for us, product development's a big focus right now. We're focused on, you and I have talked before about Shoal River Ranch, the Shoal River Ranch gigasite up in Crestview, which for those that aren't familiar with that property, it's located 7 miles east of downtown Crestview on Highway 90. It's 10,000 acres and spans basically 6,000 acres north of I-10, 4,000 acres south of I-10. And that's a property that we're positioning for large-scale economic development. Big footprint parcels are available up there. The county 2 years ago actually purchased about 600 acres that's zoned for industrial use. And so right now we've got a number of projects. In fact, I've got an RFP due today.
What's an RFP?
A response to a proposal, request for proposal.
I see.
Yeah. Okay. So we've got a proposal due today. We've got one due tomorrow and another one due Monday. And they're all potential projects for Shoal River Ranch.
Wow. So being selfishly interested in helping my agents, so from a real estate perspective, what will this mean?
So obviously from our standpoint, we're looking to create more economic opportunity for the citizens of Okaloosa County, additional jobs for those that call our area home, and to grow the average wage profile of those that are here. And we're pleased, looking at this past year, we saw an 11% growth to the average wage, private sector wage, mind you, not government jobs, not military jobs, but true private sector wages grew by 11% year over year this past year. We're now the highest in terms of average wage among all of Northwest Florida counties, which we think is a good thing. Obviously, that gives people more buying power to spend on real estate.
Yeah.
So we think that certainly will be of good help. And as we see Shoal River go from concept to an actual developed project, we know that there are going to be a number of opportunities that allow people to grow their economic wherewithal.
All right. So Nathan's phone was going off, so we pulled it off the table.
It was on vibrate, but it still went off, right?
He's a busy guy.
Yeah.
I was always blown away when you started talking and the amount of information you had. Like, where do you find all this information? Is it available to the public?
Well, so yes, it is to an extent. Now, obviously we get regular reports from our state partners. Enterprise Florida is our state economic development organization here in Florida. We have an MOU with them. In many cases, some of the larger deals that we work come by way of our relationship with them. So many times, we deal with commercial brokers or site consultants who might be looking at multiple states for their project, for their client.
Competing.
Exactly. And it's in their best interest to have competition because, states get really competitive when it comes to economic development and job growth.
Sure.
So, we'll get a request for proposal from Enterprise Florida that they got from a consultant who might be considering, 5 or 6 states in the Southeast, and they want to know what each state has that meets the profile for that particular client. And so, that relationship's incredibly important. So we get a lot of data from Enterprise Florida, from the Florida Department of Economic Opportunity, another great partner. We get a lot of our information, too, from our regional partner, Florida's Great Northwest, which is a 12-county economic development organization really geared toward branding and promoting Northwest Florida for economic development purposes. And they've got a research person on staff who does great work there. But then we do our own as well. We've got a number of sources. Career Source Florida and Career Source Okaloosa Walton give us all of our wage and unemployment information, and that's updated monthly.
Because you guys are so together on even school support,
right,
for the families that show up here. How do you do all of that?
Well, so obviously education is at the top of the list of any business that's looking to grow or expand in a new community. And so thankfully in Okaloosa County, we've got a really strong school district, as you know, and we've got great partners with Northwest Florida State College and the University of West Florida. The University of Florida has a presence here. And really that's important because, again, companies are looking at it from the standpoint of quality of life for their employees, but they're also looking at it in terms of, talent development, because they ultimately are going to be hiring people in our area. And they want to know that our educational partners are aligned to providing the skill sets that they demand. And thankfully, we've got partners here who are very responsive when it comes to specific curriculum that relates directly to the needs of industry.
Okay, so let's see. Who's coming here? Can you say anything about people?
We get that question all the time.
That are public, I'm sure you do.
Yeah, we do. And I certainly appreciate it because, everybody's excited when something's on the drawing board, right, and wants to know, well, what's it going to mean for me?
Yeah.
So obviously, as you can appreciate being in real estate, we sign NDAs and
what's an NDA?
A non-disclosure agreement.
Okay.
Yeah, and so many of the businesses are considering something that maybe their people don't know about yet, and they want to keep it quiet as long as they can.
Sure.
And so, but anyway, I can share with you that we have right now we have in our current project pipeline of companies that are either looking to expand in Okaloosa County or looking to locate a new facility in Okaloosa County. We've got 29 companies, and really it's a multitude of sectors that they represent. So it's everything from aerospace to manufacturing to warehousing and distribution to defense contracting. So really it's good. We've got a couple of clean energy projects. Clean energy manufacturing is certainly an exciting new industry that has a lot of potential for our area. So the good news is it's not just one sector. it's a pretty diverse pipeline of opportunities. We've got challenges. I mean, admittedly, one of those challenges you and I have talked about, and that's workforce housing.
Yeah.
You know, our housing profile continues to grow, and we have limited land area to develop. You know, obviously, Eglin Air Force Base is a significant user of land or owner of land in our area, and that's wonderful because it means good things for our economy in terms of the economic value they provide. But at the same time, we have a limited footprint for new housing to be developed on. Really, in South Okaloosa, it's pretty well developed out. So a lot of the newer communities are being proposed and permitted up in northern Okaloosa County. And that's great because that's near Shoal River Ranch, and that's where a lot of the opportunity that we're working is focused. But, you know, we obviously need to ensure that we have housing that corresponds to the average wage earner in our community. And so when you think about, you know, the average wage, again, the highest in Northwest Florida, but the average wage being $49,622 a year, and it's up 11% from last year, you know, an earner that's making that can't necessarily afford a $500,000, $600,000, $700,000 home or even north of that. So,
do we have any idea of like timelines for projects? Are there subdivisions going in North Okaloosa?
Yeah, there are a number of subdivisions on the drawing board, particularly east of Crestview on Highway 90. One is, I think, 1,200 proposed homes. There's another one that's 800. So there's a number of developers that are responding to the need, which is to their credit.
Is there any timeline on that development?
You know, many of those are just in the very early stages. So we're looking at, you know, 18 months, 2 years in some cases. It's not going to scratch the itch that we have right now. I mean, I've been talking to, you know, a couple of our employers who are working to try and recruit people from other areas. You know, everybody's looking for talent. And our unemployment rate here is extremely low, by the way. It's 2.5%, which is the second lowest in the state of Florida. Wow. And second to St. Johns County. So, you know, St. John's is at 2.3%, but most people that want a job have a job. What's interesting, too, before I leave that subject, is right now in Okaloosa County, we have 96,674 people employed. And so what's interesting, though, is and that's 4,000 people more than a year ago.
Wow.
4,023 to be exact. But when you compare it to pre-pandemic, I think there's a bit of a narrative out there that, you know, there are fewer people working than there were before COVID. Well, the numbers don't bear that out. In fact, in February of 2020, we had 93,429 people employed countywide just before the world changed in March of 2020.
Yeah. Wow. That's incredible, all these numbers. So is all of these subdivisions, are they Shoal River Ranch area?
In the vicinity, there's a subdivision proposed sort of northwest of Shoal River Ranch. There's a 500-acre parcel more or less there. There's some parcels further east of Shoal River Ranch, and then there's a smaller community that I understand will be modular housing proposed east of Shoal River. So I think all told, if you add up the units that are proposed on the drawing board, mind you, subject to final approvals and things of that sort, I mean, there's 4,000 or 5,000 homes in that quadrant of the county that are being proposed. And
I don't understand how they can do that. I mean, is there enough workforce for that?
For the construction?
To build that many houses? I called a few builders just to see if to build a house. I have a few lots, and everyone's so busy they can't do anything.
Well, keep in mind, these aren't going to be built today. There's got to be infrastructure built out, you know, once the final approvals, their plat approvals and such are rendered. So it's going to be a phased effort, and not all of those homes will be built at once. They'll be built over, you know, a number of years. So, you know, you're right. I mean, if we were trying to build 4,000 homes at once, you know, we don't have the workforce. But if you look at it in a staggered way as it will play out, I think that we can get there. We know, though, that, you know, the challenges that our friends in the construction trades are experiencing are very real. You know, finding, you know, any number of skilled trades contractors right now is a challenge because it's wide open out there.
All right. So is there anything happening with the roadways in Okaloosa County to help all this, what seems like an overload of cars?
Well, so we do know that there's efforts, of course, down in the vicinity of Mary Esther and Fort Walton Beach to widen U.S. Highway 98. There's also, of course, we all have been, anxiously awaiting the new Brooks Bridge crossing from Fort Walton Beach over to Okaloosa Island. That's finally going to get underway later this year.
Oh, good.
Parcels have been acquired that were needed in order for that to occur. So, and I think there are a couple more that remain to be acquired. I think there are 11 parcels, if memory serves, in total that have to be acquired due to the alignment associated with that improvement. You're going to see a pretty extensive infrastructure improvement over time in the vicinity of the Brooks Bridge as they work to make that a more efficient flow pattern between Okaloosa Island and Fort Walton Beach. Of course, State Road 85, we all know that that, depending on the time of day, can be a pretty dicey thing to venture north or south from Crestview or to Crestview. It's all a matter of timing, right? You don't want to leave after 3 o'clock to drive to Crestview.
Exactly.
And certainly it's the reverse in the morning with everyone commuting from North County, from all of those housing communities up there down to the bases and employers in South County. The Crestview bypass, State Road 85 bypass, multi-phased project is underway as we speak. If you've driven up that way, the sort of northwestern quadrant, PJ Adams and that area, you can see the work underway. That's going to relieve some of the pinch points, certainly, and it's a phased project that will, over time, loop back around and meet up with Highway 90 up in the northern part of the county. So, there are things being done. We're playing catch up. Let's be honest.
Oh yeah.
Our county has grown quite rapidly. 14% growth. 17%. Over the past 10 years, looking at the last census. So, we're growing. Florida as a whole is growing by 14%. So we're just a couple of notches above the Florida average growth rate. But we've got some census tracts in Okaloosa County, particularly in Crestview, that have grown well north of 100% over the past 10 years.
Wow. So what's the school system planned for that?
Well, thanks to the voters, the school district got the half penny for schools to essentially improve school facilities, and I know that we're starting to see those signs pop up everywhere. Your surtax at work, with a particular project, and I know our school district is doing great things to utilize that money that the electorate bestowed upon them with that vote last year.
That's perfect. You've got to have schools. I think they have no room now, right?
Right.
Everything is due to all of this amazing performance of people moving in. Okay, your counterpartner, you guys get along really good. Bill was here.
Yeah.
Because you're the one who gave me his name to talk to. Actually,
good.
I remember that. Thank you. Yeah,
you're welcome.
We had, he was sharing, so we were asking him some questions about who was coming and could he announce names. I'm going to ask you the same thing. Any big box names for retail that you can announce? Or
we don't get involved in retail, so we hear about those things pretty much when everybody else does. Retailers are interesting, whether it's Target or Walmart or Dick's or whomever. They've got their process that they utilize throughout the country and beyond, and they've got a team of people who come in and basically make that project happen. And they do all their own research, and they don't necessarily rely on the community other than when they're ready to file for a permit.
I see.
Yeah.
So no Costco, Trader Joe's.
No, I get those questions all the time, and my wife kind of gives me a hard time.
Mine too.
She wants to know when those things are happening.
Right.
And then she also gives me a hard time because she says, the stuff you do, I can't go in these places. That doesn't help me. I'm not going into this defense contractor that you guys helped bring to town, or I'm not going into this new donut manufacturing facility that's going to Crestview. But anyway, so she likes to laugh about that.
All right. Yeah, it is funny. My wife wants a Trader Joe's or near. I think Tallahassee's the closest one. So.
It is. Yeah, we've given them plenty of money over in Leon County as a result of Trader Joe's being there.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Is there anything that we didn't talk about, Nathan, that's big on the horizon or people should know about?
Well, so for us right now, a lot of our effort is focused on, we do a big signature event every year. We have a committee called Techmen. It's the Technology Coast Manufacturing and Engineering Network. It's been around since '89, basically established the same time we were established. And this is an effort basically to take our monthly meetings that we have with our technology, manufacturing, engineering, defense contracting, aerospace companies, and to take it to a bigger stage. And we've been doing that now. This is our 5th Techmen Industry Day coming up on April 26th at the Destin Fort Walton Beach Convention Center. Wow. And so we'll have, 350 or so attendees. We have exhibitors. 51 booths have been sold. And some of those are from sold to companies from outside the area that are in those industries that I've referenced, manufacturing, technology, et cetera. This is an opportunity for us to create a venue for those sectors to come together as the ecosystem throughout Northwest Florida and beyond to network and share information. We'll have a speaker symposium with several panels, one focused on the Northwest Florida State College Aviation Center of Excellence, their new aviation training program up in Crestview at Bob Sykes Airport. We'll have a panel focused on federal defense contracting with Eglin Defense Contracting officers on that panel. We'll have a panel, this is one that's really exciting for me, a panel comprised of industry newcomers to Northwest Florida. So we've got 4 companies, one that has made a decision to put a facility in Bay County, one that has made a decision to put a facility in Walton County, one that has, of course, made a decision to put a facility in Okaloosa, and one that has made a decision to put a facility over in Escambia. And they're going to be on a panel talking about those decisions, why they opted to expand in Northwest Florida, some of the factors in those decisions, and what they see for the future of their company now as a Northwest Florida connected business. So that's an exciting panel for us. We're going to have a keynote luncheon with the commander of the Air Force Research Lab out at Eglin, talking about all of their efforts, those that he can talk about at least. Mm-hmm. And then we'll have the expo hall time for people to network. We've got a networking reception that afternoon with cocktails and the whole 9 yards. So it's a great value. It's only $75 for those that aren't members of ours to attend. It's $50 for our members. Mm-hmm. Starts with continental breakfast and ends with cocktails. It's a full day, but if you can only come for a couple of hours, we'd love to have you. But TechmenIndustryDay.com is the website that people can go and check it out and learn more.
So if I went there, what would I learn?
Well, I think you would learn about, the sectors that are featured, the things they're concerned about, thinking about, their decision points as far as, things they factor in when they're making expansion decisions. You would have an opportunity to network with individuals that could be clients. We have a number of bankers and attorneys and realtors and others who come to this because they see it as an opportunity to build relationships with new customers.
Smart. Yeah, that's a great idea.
So it's open to anyone. You don't have to be in the manufacturing or technology sector. In fact, I would say probably half of those who attend are service providers who want to build their book of business.
I see. All right. Wow, that I didn't get that from you right away. All right, Nathan, what did you do before you did this?
Well, so this is my 24th year in economic development. I started actually as a college intern. So
you look like you're just out of college.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. But I appreciate that. Good living, I guess you'd say. But
wow.
Yeah. But anyway, so started in Georgia in economic development with the Georgia Department of Industry, Trade, and Tourism as an intern. Mm-hmm. Worked in my home state of Alabama for a couple of years. Right out of college, had the opportunity to come down and work with the St. Joe Company as their manager of economic development in the early 2000s. And then went to Georgia to work in the Golden Isles, St. Simons Island, Brunswick, Sea Island, Jekyll Island area, leading an economic development group there for nearly a decade, and then have been here almost a decade.
Wow. Your language skills are amazing, and the information you just spew this out like you do it every day.
Well, I appreciate that. We live it for sure.
Yeah. All right. So if people wanted to get in touch with you, to find out more about what's going on, how would they do that?
Well, feel free to give me a call. Our office line is 850-362-6467. We do have a website, which is one spelled out, Okaloosa.org. A lot of information out there. One thing I will mention, too, is for those who might be watching or listening that are involved in commercial real estate, we do have a website, which is Okaloosa Sites, SITES.com, that is supported in partnership with the Emerald Coast Association of Realtors. And that is a fully searchable database, much like a commercial MLS, but it also has demographic overlays and a variety of layers where you can pinpoint a location and search on what people are spending their money on an average basis or annual basis within a certain radius of a particular location. That is a useful tool for retailers.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
So again, that's OkaloosaSites.com.
All right. Very good. All right. Well, thanks a lot. You have my number. I need to know when this Trader Joe's is going to be here. We've got to get this done for your wife and mine.
Yes, let's make it happen.